Khloe Bybby. Khloe Bybby is a player for the Indiana Fever who has been kind of cooking. I got to be honest. I think Khloe Bibby's was really, really good in that first game. And look, all she has to do is two things. She needs to relocate and shoot threes. I think it's really that simple. She needs to relocate, shoot threes, and kind of run a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. All she has to do is just be solid. Be a solid player. Doesn't need to do anything major. Doesn't need to go out there and drop 35 a game or anything. She just needs to be a solid player. And if she's solid, we're happy. We're all happy as long as Khloe Bybby just ends up being a solid player. However, one player that it seems like she may have taken out of rotation completely is Stantis. There is, in my opinion, no reason for Stantis to play against 90% of WNBA teams when Khloe Bybby is not there. Or when Khloe Bibby's there. The exception might be the Sparks and the Dream, because they're going to go with double bigs. And that is the exception. And it's a tough one because sport is a meritocracy at the end of the day. And I don't think people like to say everything about stuff, but sport in general is a meritocracy. And if you're looking at it right here, Bree Turner has already been outscored by Khloe Bybby. I mean, Grace Berger has as many points for the Dallas Wings as Bree Turner has for the Fever, which is, again, a little bit concerning. I think Bree Hall has almost as many points. And she's played 10 WNBA minutes. But yeah, it's one of those things where Khloe Bybby, look, she's not 6'2", but again, doesn't really matter. She plays bigger than she is. She's probably closer to 6 foot than 6'2". Her and if Sophie's 6'1", she might be 6'2". Sophie Cunningham's also not 6'1". But at the end of the day, or one of Lexi and Sophie, one of them's taller than the other one. She is an undersized power forward, but she plays stronger than she is. She's physical. She gets her, is able to use her weight pretty well. She's able to use her size, and she actually looks to push the ball. Whereas Stantis is slow-footed, extremely slow-footed, can't guard the PNR. You can't guard you can't have Stantis on the floor with Aaliyah Ball. We saw what happened a lot of the time. Unless Stantis is literally lighting it up, you can't put her on the floor with Aaliyah Boston. Stantis is 2 from her last 3, 9, 10, 14 threes. That's Caitlin Clark on the road percentages. That's Caitlin Clark on the road. And by the way, she was really good in the game before this against I can't even remember. Can't even remember before this who it was. It was the Dream. It was a Dream. She was good, just she spaced the floor. And just because players left, she was not being left open. Whereas Khloe Bybby is even more of a threat from 3. She's much more of a threat from 3. And if you look at who had the better season overseas, it was Khloe Bybby. She had the better year. She was the MVP of the Spanish League, but it's just a weird one because the Spanish League itself, the finals matter more than being MVP of the league. But she did play for Girona in Euro Cup, averaging 17 points per game. And if you look again, when they played Lyon, she averaged 14 a game, not on the greatest percentages. Maybe it's just Australian national team weren't a big fan of her. Because at the end of the day, she barely played for Australia. But at the same time, she still did hit shots. Lyon again, Malonga, Jacite. With Girona, Clara Lundqvist. It wasn't a bad team, Natasha Mack. She was the main scorer on a team with Minotore, who plays for the Sun right now. Clara Lundqvist, Natasha Mack. So, she has, while not the WNBA experience, she has the pro ball experience playing at a pretty decent level this year. And look, she did shoot. She shot 42% from 3 in Spain. She shot 42% from 3. Whereas if you look at Stantis, Dantis did play. She played in Turkey, but she played for Bottas, who don't play in European competition, who are one of the weaker teams in the league. Albeit she was absolutely cooking, but there's no stats for her in Bottas, is there? they don't have her stats there anyway. But obviously she's cooking for Brazil. But like, AmeriCup is AmeriCup. AmeriCup was won by a bunch of college players. Like, it was won by a bunch of college players. Michaela Blake's won the MVP in AmeriCup. Dantas probably could have won it. But like, again, she averaged 21.4 points per game in AmeriCup and was cooking. The difference is, though, you've got to... It's all about... Sport is about what you've done lately. And what she has done lately is absolutely stink it up for the Fever recently. And it got to the stage where they played the Vegas Aces, where she was essentially out of rotation. She got in the first quarter. She was shocking. She was absolutely shocking when she comes in the first quarter. And then towards the end of the game, they put in KK Timpson instead. And like KK Timpson, just for her athleticism, even though she can't shoot the ball, she comes in with 4 rebounds and is only a -1 in the minutes that she played. Whereas the starters were killing it. The stars were absolutely killing it in that game. And then Kelsey Mitchell obviously didn't do it until the fourth, but completely took over in the fourth. So, look, Dantas has got to fight her way back into the team. She's got to fight her way because Khloe Bibby's got her minutes right now. And that's the thing. Sports should be a meritocracy. Like, unless you are a star, the game should be a meritocracy. Like, we're not going to be saying, oh, Caitlin Clark should fight for her minutes for Mary McDonald because there's that much of a difference there. We're not going to be saying that if Aaliyah Boston was out for a couple of games, she should be fighting for her minutes with Dantas. That's never the case. Or when your bench players are role players. Like, it's different if you have like a Temi type role player who's been a really good starter for a team that's of a similar level to the Fever, like, and is a completely different look. But like, with this game being a meritocracy, the sport being a meritocracy, she's got to fight back. And I hope Dantas does, because Dantas had to fight for her minutes last year. And by the end of the season, she stepped up and was playing a lot better. I still think the Fever getting rid of Temi for Dantas was idiotic. Absolutely idiotic. People were like, oh, they replaced Temi with Tasha. Man, Temi was fine coming off the bench. Temi literally in interviews, like, she's talking about, I don't care if I come off the bench. I don't care if I start. I just want to win. Like, Temi, most of the time, like, when it comes to the European players, it's just want to win. Like, you would rather come off the bench. Most European players would rather come off the bench for a stacked team than start for a team of scrubs. Because at the end of the day, when you go to a Fenerbahce, when you go to somewhere like Fenerbahce, you could be a WNBA All-Star and you're coming off the bench. But like, if you're looking the rest of the year, I don't see how she plays against the Fever unless they're running Kalani Brown and Tasha Mack lineup. Sorry, not against the Fever, the Mercury. The Wings do run double bigs, so there is a chance with the Wings running double bigs that she gets on in that Wings game. She gets a chance. The Storm run double bigs, in fairness. So these are 2 games she has a chance to play. So you know what? They actually come into a 3-game spell on that road trip for quite a lot of road trip where Damiris Dantas can try to fight her way back into the team. But right now, those minutes are Khloe Bibby's. She came in, she hit shots. She hit him with a fast trigger. And if Khloe Bybby starts stinking it up, if she starts missing shots, and like, if she starts missing shots and Dantas is hitting shots, Dantas takes her spot. It's the exact same debate we're going to have between like a Lexi Hall and a Sophie Cunningham for the starting spot. The difference is that there is a pure effort. There is a huge effort when it comes to like Lexi Hall, whereas Dantas isn't going to be running around taking charges, diving on loose balls, and making sure as hell they play the highest effort defense. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.